Are some of the states of the Federation in troubled waters? We find out tonight as we assess budget state of the state report and find out whether or not some states are nearing insolvency. And APC says there will be suspension of actions over the planned removal of Ondo State Deputy Governor as some youths protest the absence of Governor Akeredolu from the state. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimale in Abuja. Let's begin by letting you know the latest appointment announced by the presidency. The President Bola Tinubu has appointed the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice of Jigawa State, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, as the new chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. Also appointed as a secretary for the commission is Clifford Okudiri Okparaodo. The presidency announced in a statement earlier today and saying that the new chairman of the ICPC is nominated for confirmation by the Nigerian Senate following the president's approval of the outgoing chairman's request to proceed on pre-end of tenure leave beginning on the 4th of November 2023 ahead of the expiration of his tenure on February the 3rd, 2024. So much that we have on our plate tonight, and I'd like you to kindly get a cup of coffee in case it's raining wherever you may be in any part of the world, or in fact, it might be a bit hot. Get a chill water, a bottle of water, a cup of water, and just get a seat, everyone, because this is very important. And I'd like you to know, wherever in all of the 36 states of the Federation that you are in, we need to test the health of the finances of your state. We'll be looking at the best 5 performing states and the 5 worst performing states in the Federation in terms of fiscal performance, budgetary performance, IGR performance. Some of the states are already in trouble. 5 of them need help. 5 of them are doing well. There are other states also that have borrowed more than they can chew. We'll be exposing all of these based on what budget has released in his report. So sit tight, everyone. If you are in any of these states, try as much as possible to Twitter me and let us know what is going on in your state. If those who are handling the affairs of your state are not doing well, you will get the report card today. So stick around. We'll also go to Ondo State. Agitations about the whereabouts of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has become a major issue. There was a protest. Also, the planned removal of his deputy, Mr. Ayedatiwa. It seems to be some sort of suspension over the action because the party has intervened. All of that we'll be getting you updates, and we'll be having conversation, in-depth conversation on them tonight on the program. But first, let's have you with some of your political roundup stories, and you'll be up to date. Then we'll come and discuss these issues.
The federal government has flagged up the conditional cash transfer program, under which 15 million vulnerable households will be provided 25,000 naira on a monthly basis for 3 months. The secretary to the government of the federation, Senator George Akume, says the Tinubu administration is determined to take millions of Nigerians out of poverty.
Our plans for food security, ending hunger, poverty eradication, economic growth, and job creation are all means by which we shall fight poverty and help the most vulnerable.
The Nigerian Election Observer Group, Yaga Africa, is making recommendations for further electoral reforms, such as need to review the format of ballot papers to include the photographs of candidates. The group also called on the National Assembly to review the existing Electoral Act and make electronic transmission of results mandatory, including the uploading of polling unit results. The recommendations are against the backdrop of the recent election observation mission that Yaga Africa made to Liberia for the country's general election.
We're also recommending that INEC should review the format of ballot papers used in Nigeria to include photographs and names of candidates to improve the quality of electoral preferences and reduce, incidents of invalidated votes.
The Kogi State governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Mr. Neke Abejide, is promising massive employment opportunities for residents of the state as part of measures to rescue the state from poverty. At a campaign rally in Ajaokuta local government area, Mr. Abejide also promised to ensure the resuscitation of Ajaokuta Steel Complex in order to improve the economy of the state.
All these people will not be unemployed, you'll be engaged. Whatever is going to cost me for Ajaokuta to work, I will bring it to work.
A civil society group under the aegis of Center for Democracy and Human Rights today staged a protest at the National Assembly, asking lawmakers to compel President Bola Tinubu to obey the Establishment Act of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC. Addressing journalists, Mr. Debayo Ogori notes that the president violated the excellent laws which establishes the commission in appointing Mr. Ola Olukoyede as the chairman.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. So let's begin the conversation from Ondo State. Well, we understand now that the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has met with a delegation of aggrieved lawmakers of the Ondo State House of Assembly over the planned move to impeach the state deputy governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Mr. Ganduje has met the Ondo lawmakers alongside members of the Reconciliation Committee set up to douse tension over the planned impeachment move. And these on the Twitter handle of the APC today. This is what the party put there, titled, "All Actions Suspended." The Ondo State House of Assembly has agreed to suspend impeachment processes against the state's deputy governor, H.E. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, and allow for political solutions. On Tuesday, the lawmakers met with the party's Reconciliation Committee and the NWUC. That is the position of the party as of today, at least for so much that they put on their Twitter handle, X, today. Now, yesterday, we saw youths who converged on the PDP secretariat in Akure, Ondo State capital, protesting and asking Governor Akeredolu to come out and speak to them. And they've been worried that since they returned to the country, they've not been able to physically cite him. And so the protesters, we understand, they were barricaded into the PDP secretariat in Akure and not allowed to move out. And some of them have accused the security agencies of not allowing some of their compatriots, some of their fellow protesters to join them in the protest. In fact, yesterday we played you some of the sound bites of that, some of the leaders of the protesters. Maybe I can remind you of what they said from what we played also yesterday. All right, we'll let you see that in a short while. Well, let's get some insight on what is happening. On one hand, the impeachment process on Lucky Aiyedatiwa. On another hand, is the whereabouts of the governor Rotimi Akeredolu. But this is what one of the leaders of the protesters said yesterday. Take a listen to him.
We got here to see that they have put armored personnel carriers and their Hillock vehicles, almost 300 to 400 policemen armed to the teeth in front of our secretariat. And we're asking them, what were they doing here? They said, no, they don't want people to enter the zone. But after a lot of intervention, they gave us access. And yet, all the youths that were supposed to participate in the exercise, the protest, are still outside. What we have asked for is very simple. Where is Governor Rotimi Akeredolu?
All right. So let's get to speak with one of those who are close to Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Tonight we are being joined by Doyin Odebowale. He joins us virtually. He's an advisor to Governor Akeredolu on strategy. Thank you so much, Doyin, for joining us tonight. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. Good evening.
The young man there, with soundbites we played earlier, asked a question, and I guess that should be our starting point. Where is Governor Akeredolu?
He's in Ibadan. He was in his office at Ibadan yesterday, the Law Hall, Ring Road, in the afternoon, before 4 o'clock, he was there. Yeah, he's in Ibadan. And when...
Ibadan is in Oyo. Just a moment, though. Ibadan is in Oyo State. That's the capital of Oyo State. Some kilometers away from Ondo State.
Precisely.
The question is, why has the governor not been to Ondo State?
Because maybe I should start by saying this, that PDP cannot ask the governor to show his face. PDP cannot. And if the so-called youths of PDP believe that they reserve the right to move to the streets to protest against another ruling, a ruling party, APC, and you want to know where the governor is, for what? So that the governor will come and address you at your PDP secretariat, or that the governor will come and, resuscitate your moribund party? For what? And this idea of asking security agencies to just allow you to move to the streets, where is that done? If PDP youth wing will want to move to the streets, what about the APC youth wing? If they had also been allowed to move to the streets, so what will happen to the people of the state? The peaceful, the peace-loving people of the state, the law-abiding citizens and residents, and those who will be passing through the state. It goes beyond this. Aketi is in Ibadan. And let me also quickly add this, for the purpose of the mischief makers, so that they can listen and listen very well. Aketi came back in September. Where he used to stay, the presidential lodge built for a visiting president at that time, President Olusegun Obasanjo, is a two-bedroom apartment. Two-bedroom apartment. You can send your correspondents to come and verify. I'll take them round. Two-bedroom. Now he's back. He cannot occupy that place again. The old governor's office, the governor's lodge, built by the previous administration, is now the office of the investment, outlet called Ondo. That's the office. So the governor has been managing a two-bedroom apartment for 6 years. So his current state of it will not permit him to pretend that all is well. He will need all the things he will need for him to recover properly. That's why the new place that is being arranged for him is almost completed. And there is no commissioner today, unless that person wants to be mischievous and will be asking the person to resign immediately, who say that Aketi has not been getting in touch. And when they say, they want to see Aketi, do they want to see him at the site so that he'll be carrying cement or he'll be following workmen? What exactly? The civil servants have been paid all their salaries. Aketi keeps signing. He's been signing laws since he came back. Why are they not asking for the whereabouts of the deputy governor? He has not been in Akure for weeks. He's not on medical leave. He has not been sent out of Akure. Forget about the process of impeachment. What have you? He is still the deputy governor. He has not been to that office. Why are they not asking about his whereabouts? Why? Why are they not asking?
Dr. Odabo, let me quickly ask you. Is it wrong for any citizen of the state in which the governor has sworn an oath to serve to be asking if they have not seen him 1 month, and our prayers and the prayers of the people of Ondo State were with him, and everybody was glad when he returned, and he says, I am back on his Twitter handle, and a few pictures here and there we've shown that he's truly back and back on his feet. Is there anything wrong if citizens of the state are asking that they want to see their governor on Ondo State soil?
No, there's nothing wrong. And I've just told you, there's nothing absolutely wrong about citizens. Genuine citizens, those with genuine intentions, they say so, of course. We also want to see him. I also want to see him because the nature of my job, makes it, mandatory that I see him, that I just can't discuss with him on phone. So those who have genuine intentions are correct when they say, they want to see their governor. But for the mischief makers to paint the picture that, there is some kind of gloom, there is weakness in Ondo State, nothing is working, that is not correct. It's not correct. It is not correct. And of course, we talk about the security agencies stopping people from moving into the streets. If they had allowed them to move into the streets, and the APC youth wing had also, confronted them, what would have happened? We would have been talking about sponsored agents, this and something like that. I think
if I may quickly jump in here. So you said that the deputy governor has not been physically in Ondo State for several weeks. Is that right?
He has not. He has not.
So the governor, since September 7th or thereabout, that he got to this back to the country, has also not been physically present in Ondo State. Is that right?
No, he has not.
So who is physically running the affairs of Ondo State in the physical absence of the governor and the deputy governor?
The governor is in charge. The governor is very much in charge.
Albeit by proxy, isn't it?
No, I mean, what do you mean by proxy?
So if you, just a moment,
let me explain
just a moment. I'm a student of literature. So if you are not physically present within the territory that you govern, English language, doesn't it mean proxy?
Sheung, I hold a PhD degree in classics, and I'm a lawyer. So when you want us to move into the realm of semantics, I mean, we are not going to be able to finish this program. Yes, I understand Greek and Latin, PhD classics, and law, LLB, BL. So please, if the governor, I mean, we all know the state of health. He is recuperating, he is convalescing. If the governor has not eaten the fact that he is in the title, the governor was visited by the APC leadership, all of them from Abuja. They saw him. The governor is in a hurry to return to Akure, and they know. They know. Those who are sponsoring these people, they know. If the civil servants, those who work for the people, are not complaining because they get paid. They get paid. Nobody is owed any salary in Ondo State. If the commissioners appointed by the governor, the SAs and the SSAs appointed are doing what they're supposed to be doing, then what do you need the governor for? I'm not saying that it is permissible for the governor to be, but we know the special circumstances surrounding his absence. I'm saying that I'm just giving you this hint now, that where he used to stay is a 2-bedroom apartment.
So, Doctor,
2-bedroom apartment.
So it's not. I mean, these are understandable. Those who are asking to see the governor, for the governor to be on the ground, some of the grievances are that there seems to be some lacuna in governance of the state. You are saying, just a moment, let me land with my question, please. Okay. You are saying that if the deputy governor were to be on ground, there probably wouldn't have been any question. It does look like there is some kind of rift between the governor and the deputy. Is that the case?
If he had been on ground, there wouldn't have been any lacuna because he can only act in accordance with what the governor asked him to do. It is the law. He can only act if the governor asks him to do so. This is it. And the government can only ask a person who is on ground to act for him. He has not been around. That is the truth. So the deputy governor cannot take executive powers, cannot act without being directed. And there are commissioners doing it. The governor is back, he's in charge. He's in charge. The only thing that they miss is that we will not allow anybody come and be stampeding the governor as they used to do. What made him to take ill? We will not be attending useless meetings. Useless meetings of people bringing files, contractors, all of this. We will not do that. In fact, he's acting, he's even more effective now. Now that we don't allow them to discipline. I'm not trying to excuse the fact that he's not in Akure. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I've just explained to you why he has to be away. Why he's still, and he's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Governor Akeredolu might be back on Ondo soil. When do you think he might be back on Ondo State physically?
No, I cannot give you a specific date, but I know very soon he's coming back. Very soon.
So you see, the reason why I'm asking this is that maybe, just maybe, those who have taken to the streets or those who are asking the questions on the whereabouts of their governor might just douse attention if they have an idea. Just a moment, let me land on my question. If, for example, if they have an idea of when the governor will be physically back in the state, maybe that could douse the tension. Don't you think?
No, they are just trying to be mischievous. I've just told you why they should be neglected, why they should be ignored. Why they should be ignored? Because we saw the messages that they sent around and how some people contributed money, for them to be able to disturb the peace of the state. Security agencies send these messages to us. We got them. Let them come out and deny this.
So what are those sponsoring them? What are those sponsors? You are inferring that they are being sponsored.
Disgruntled politicians, even within APC. Forget about all this charade about PDP youth wing. The PDP youth leader came out to say that he did not know anything about any protest. That was in the news. There was a press statement to that effect. So who are these people? Who are these people? They just came out and now you are going to plan to move from strategic areas so that you will disturb market women, to disturb NURTW people, you will force people to join you, you will close, Who will allow you to do that? I just got the full details of what they are planning to do. We should congratulate the CP and the director of SSS for moving to foresee what will have happened. Look at them. We're looking at them. To block the road, we will not allow it. We will not allow that person. Not by those who participated in the so-called NSAS, who are going to bomb people's houses, killing policemen. These are the elements we will not allow them. This is not about denying anybody his right to protest. I've done that all my life.
Dr. Deboale, that perhaps those who are watching you tonight will say, oh, Dr. Deboale is an Ijebu man from Ondo State, and maybe he doesn't really have the interest of the Ondo people had had, and may not be as passionate as they would be in the affairs of the state when they're asking these questions about governance and the whereabouts of their governor. But the question is, if you say these are political, but and these genuine questions that people could ask of their leaders, are you blaming them for speaking up on what they think, no matter what their political divide or maybe they are dissenting in their arguments could be?
Shehu, let me quickly tell you this. Talking about, and I don't want to sound immodest in any way, but I can claim to be an indigenous of Ondo State by marriage. My wife is from Igobini, she's an Ijoa boy. My 4 children through this woman are Igobini people. I pay my tax in Ondo State. I have my tax certificate. I don't pay my tax in Ogun State. I'm talking about those who have contributed to this, to the positive development of this state in the last 6.5 years. Ask anybody in Ondo State. My coming here has not been a burden. I work Monday to Sunday. I'm talking about revenue generation. My office generates close to 100 million naira every month. What we make on ground of 400,000 naira, people are just stealing money. I'm talking about confidence of people. They prefer to call us. We work on the with security agencies. There is peace in Akure. It was not so. It was not so. I've been able to catch the so-called unionists. And what is bad about coming from Ogun State? I'm a Remo prince from Ogere Remo. Very proud of that heritage. I'm married to Dr. Olaniriti Odeboale. She is working in LASU. She's a senior lecturer at Lagos State University.
So let's talk about
working in Lagos.
Yeah, let's talk about the situation between the governor and the deputy. Where did the deputy get it wrong as far as Governor Akeredolu is concerned?
Well, I will leave it to ask the deputy governor, but as a person who knew him in 2012, I will not fail to say that he has not acted well. I will not fail to say that he has not acted well. If he was not known, politically speaking, and Aketi adopted him, so. If his own people rejected him when he was nominated for the NDDC job, and he was not allowed to even occupy the office for one day, Katie allowed him to contest, supported him to go for reps, he lost. Senate, he lost. And when the opportunity now came for Aketi to go for the second term, he supported him against what his people said. So I think this is not the way to repay the benefactor, whatever politics you are playing.
Let me ask you. A few times, in fact, there are a lot of political heavyweights within the APC that have really shown some worry about this very statement that has been attributed to Governor Akeredolu. And Governor Akeredolu, more than twice, had been quoted to have said, Lucky, I will decrease so that you can increase. And a lot of people had imagined that when Governor Akeredolu said that a few times in Ondo State, it meant that he wanted Lucky Ayedatiwa to succeed him when he leaves office. So there are those who will say, so why is the governor upset, or where is the rift coming when he had always said, I will decrease so that you can increase?
Let me also say this, because I will not run away from, I don't belong to their parties. And with respect to those who belong to these parties, I don't belong to their parties. Aketi brought me from Ibadan. I'm an associate of his law office. Talking about whether Aketi supported it, there was no doubt at all as to its reference. Because there is no act to find the man's construction in the face. Let Lucky ask himself if he has been fair to Aketi. If Aketi said, oh, I will decrease so that you will increase, that shows that Aketi is the son of a pastor. No, I'm an Ijebu man. I wouldn't have said that. I'm a traditionalist. Even I won't say, my son, I won't call my son my junior, because I want my son to surpass me in life. No matter how I love my son must earn the trust. My wife must earn my trust. And any friend must earn. But Aketi is guilty of one thing. Ijebu say, Shonibare ma bikare. Aketi is surrounded by enemies from within. Even his family can say this on here. I'm happy you give me this opportunity. They have been unfair to him. It's been unfair to him. You look at the last case on former deputy governor. They accuse him. They now make it look as if he's the one who cannot work with people. They do not talk about their treachery. The other one wanted to contest. Against him. While he was in office, he was undercutting him, undermining his authorities. He gave him enough latitude. He was in charge of ministries. He was the political leader in the South. He was given the control of the House of Assembly. We told him, we gathered credible intelligence, we told Aketi, he told me to go to him Atasi, you are not a politician. But I don't pay. He said that to me. He's listening in Ibadan now. He's listening because he's aware of my coming to this place. After I spoke to you this afternoon, I would not have accepted to come if he had not given me the go-ahead. Now, this new one, if he wants to see God, let him come out openly and tell anybody if he did not hold meetings against Aketi. If he's not expecting him to die so that he will become the governor.
That may be too extreme. If you're saying that someone expects the governor to die for, I mean, if you do not have evidence to that, so that may be too extreme, and it's not a right thing to say because he's not here to defend himself.
I want to be sued by him. Let him challenge me.
No. We will not give our platform. This platform will not be here for people to malign others when they are not available to defend themselves.
It is not about maligning. I'm telling you about what I know as Aketi's SSA on special duties and strategy. And I'm telling you about all of the things that they did.
All right.
Now, the former APC chairman, excuse me, please let me quickly say this before I forget. The former APC chairman, Senator Adamu, said something like that Aketi was seriously incapacitated. He was seriously when it was a lie. And then the Commissioner for Information contacted me and said, is this true? I called the APC chairman of Ondo State, Engineer Detime. He said, Adamu never said so. I said, okay, he did not say so. Now, Commissioner, go out and say this. That, I mean, we were in touch with Aketi, but we were privileged. The Commissioner made a release. Mr. Lokai, that you are quarrel with the Commissioner. I said, look, why would she do that? It came out with one watery release that did not address anything. They did not address it. Fact,
Dr. Odeboale, we're out of time on this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Doyin Odeboale is the advisor to Governor Akeredolu of Ondo State on special duties and strategy. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. Appreciate
thank you for having me.
And extend our greetings to Governor Akeredolu, and we wish him very well.
He's watching.
And recovery.
He's watching. He's hearing you. He's hearing you now.
Thank you so much.
He's watching.
Thank you so much, Doyin, for your time tonight. Appreciate it. We'll take a break, everyone. But when we return, there are critical issues relating to the health, the financial health of some states in Nigeria. And I have told you, if you belong to any of the 36 states or the Federation, including the FCT, take a pen and a paper, because we will be revealing to you whether or not your state is in trouble. We'll be looking at the 5 states that are healthy and the 5 ones that are worst performing in terms of IDR, debt servicing, and a host of others. Shawuni Bine will be joining me next time on the program, everyone. It's going to see you.
MoneyPoint is unveiling a new personal banking app, as well as a card that works. And that's not all. For a limited time, thousands of prizes are waiting to be won during the MoneyPoint weekly games. This week, even more prizes await you. 15,000 people will win 2,000 naira each. The grand prize is getting bigger too. One lucky winner will grab 3 million naira. To participate, download the MoneyPoint personal banking app, set up your account, and fund it. Request for your card and collect coins by using your account for daily transactions. Now, once you've done these, just tap the game banner in the app and spin the wheel. And you could become a millionaire, just like that. The more you transact, the greater your chance of winning 2,000 naira or 3 million naira. Don't miss out. Download the MoneyPoint personal banking app, because it's banking on point. Terms and conditions apply.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies NILS presents a retreat for senators of the 10th National Assembly on fiscal policy and tax reforms, to be declared open by the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Chief host, President of the Senate, Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, CON. Guest of honor, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD. Notable personalities expected at the retreat include Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Staff to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, former Chief of Staff to the immediate past President, past presiding officers of the National Assembly, financial experts, and taxation authorities, members of the academia, among others. Date 19th and 20th October 2023. Venue 4 Points Hotel by Sheraton, Ikotekpene, Akwa Ibom State. Time 10 a.m. daily. Professor Abubakar O. Suleiman, Director General, NILS, Announcer.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning to do very good work for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we have all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Axis Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Sit down. How you doing now? They can't pay. I bring your medicine. Thank you. Papa, where me go? You don't work. You don't join our business. Oil business? Yes, sir. Which company? Papa, me go down there, follow them, go cook oil. That's illegal. Small, yeah. It's a crime. That kind of business no good for me go at all. It is illegal and very dangerous. What happened? Wow. Papa, na fire for me. Who dey cook oil? Who does yourself from nowhere? My country people, palava we bunker and illegal refinery dey cause for the community too plenty. Our pikin dem we get better future don dey peme on top. We dey carry our own hand, spoil we land and water. Abegi, no follow the do or sponsor this kind of business. Now Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited and NNPCL say make we tell you now.
For many years, we have secured and beautified your buildings with all security doors. And now, introducing Watson Time German, Israeli, and Turkish doors. Visit any of our factories, reach our distributors nationwide. Think doors. Think Watson Time doors.
You're heading home from work. In the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow, just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar street lights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies NILS presents a retreat for senators of the 10th National Assembly on fiscal policy and tax reforms to be declared open by the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Chief Host, President of the Senate, Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, CON, Guest of Honor, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD. Notable personalities expected at the retreat include Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Staff to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, former Chief of Staff to the immediate past President, past presiding officers of the National Assembly, financial experts, and taxation authorities, members of the academia, among others. Date 19th and 20th October 2023. Venue 4 Points Hotel by Sheraton, Ikotekpene, Akwa Ibom State. Time 10 a.m. daily. Professor Abubakar O. Suleiman, Director General, NILS, Announcer.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. So let's tell you that Lagos and Kaduna State have emerged as the only two states among the 36 states of the Federation to generate more revenue than required to cover their operating costs. According to the 2023 edition of Budget Annual State of States Report, that is showing the financial health of many states in the country. The governor of Kwara State, who was also present at that event, is asking Nigerians to hold political office holders to account, especially as it relates to the provision of quality education and health care. He was speaking during the launch of Budget's State of the State Report. Take a listen to him.
We have our seat. As we set the stage for today's discussion, it is with immense pleasure to have the...
Looking forward to his perspective,
report
Dr. Olumide.
on the state of state report on the health, financial health of the different subnationals were released today. And a lot of things were reviewed, which we'll be talking about in a moment.
Education seriously. When politicians are campaigning, you need to ask, what have you done in education? What have you done in healthcare? That way, you will force politicians to invest more in those sectors. But when you press politicians for fixing roads or building highways and flyovers, they will continue to build flyovers for you.
All right, and that's the Kwara State governor saying that people must put their leaders and political leaders to task on what they promise and what they are supposed to be to deliver. Let's get straight into the figures and some of these details that has been released by Budget today. Seun Igbinde is a co-founder of Budget. He joins us live here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much indeed, Seun, for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
I'm always very, very interested to see what your state of the state report is always. I mean, I would like to, for example, look at where my state is, for example. And a lot of Nigerians now will be curious to know how their states are performing. And interestingly, reading through this report, I am a bit, just like some guys who say I'm flabbergasted by some of the things that have emerged from it. Let's begin from what we know. In terms of fiscal responsibility, we have the 5 best performing states and the 5 worst performing states. What do we know?
What we know is that the trends have not changed significantly. In the last few years, Rivers, Lagos, Kaduna, recently, and Anambra was a great addition for this year, have proven to be more fiscally prudent in the way they've grown their IGR, in the way they have also reduced their dependence on the federal system, and in the only way they have also created their managed their operational cost. We also know that states like Bayelsa also have significant revenues from the federal government, huge dependence, and they've not figured out a way to use those revenues to grow their internal revenues significantly, or Benue, or Yobe. We are the laggards when we look at the state of state report. And we've seen increased dependence on the federal, on the FAC allocation. Looking at the financials for last year. States have moved from around 56% to about 61% in terms of dependence of the federal allocation. And also shows that IGR has not significantly improved. IGR of the states cumulatively is put at 1.8 trillion naira. By the time you adjust, around 5 states account for close to 65% of that. In some sort of way, it's very instructive to see that all our conversations on fiscal federalism and ability of states to look inward and generate optimal IGR has not happened as it should be. We're also worried about increasing debt. A lot of states are taking domestic debt. A lot of states are also took foreign debt, like
Lagos seems to be the number 1 on that list.
Yeah, so Kaduna, Cross River, Edo, Lagos have significant debt burden, and they are foreign debts. And the problem of foreign debt...
And foreign currency too.
Yeah, and so as you devalue your currency, you need more naira to cover those positions in terms of...
How many of these states do you think that have what it takes in terms of revenue to be able to service this without impacting so much on the quality of governance in the states?
It depends on the kind of debt that you take on. Because if you take a debt that has a prolonged tenure, then you have an opportunity maybe to be over 10 to 15 to 30 years. Unlike an Osun State that took a lot of commercial debt from banks. We remember how Osun State was in the woods for years. They were the laggards. And systematically they've climbed, and they're 11th on the ranking right now. At the point they were around 33, so they've improved significantly. It also means that they passed that phase, and it's very important that they start applying fiscal prudence and fiscal responsibility to the things they do.
So let me take you quickly. I'm personally surprised. Anambra climbed the ladder of 5 performing states. Ebonyi has a very small economy compared to the likes of Rivers, Lagos, Kaduna, but it's been able to join. What is significant effort do you think that this state, these 2 states, they are in the southeast, And they've been able to join the big guys, the Lagos, the Rivers, the Kaduna of this world. They've been able to join them in the states that are best performing in terms of fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, it's very important to know that you have to cut your clothes according to your size, according to your clothes. Don't overextend yourself. Don't try and boil the ocean. What we see in places like Ebonyi is a small state. The IGR is small. They're also managing their operational costs within a sizable limit. Unlike when you look like a Bayelsa, where the IGR is small, you're getting so much, or your operational cost is around 170 billion.
I'm surprised, Sean, that Bayelsa State seems to be servicing overhead bigger than some states that are
than Kano.
Than Kano, for example, than Ogun, for example. I mean, how come?
It's
with 8 local governments.
It's reduced a little bit recently, but the history of Bayelsa, I mean, it's been like a mystery to even us, because we see lump sums of overhead costs that are huge, and we're always constantly asking ourselves, you have a population less than 5 million people, you have 8 local governments, so what exactly is the problem? In terms of you running that huge overhead cost? Are you running, is your civil service more like a state welfare scheme? Are there leakages around your overheads? I mean, what exactly? Because you have a state like Rivers, which is in terms of economy, in terms of population, is around 3 or 4 times your size. And basically, you are almost running neck to neck.
And they are neighbors.
And you're running neck to neck in terms of operational cost. And our report is not a validation of maybe that transparency or accountability or maybe capital efficiency. It's just saying the way the state finances are being managed, in case of there's like a shock or there's like some fiscal challenges, they are able to stand to some extent.
I'm worried also that a state like, comparing your past reports, which, for instance, this is one of the things that I've digested so much, this year report, because I'm interested in political economics, so I dip my fingers deep into some of these things. Zamfara, as being a state that has sat in the lower ladder of performance for a long time.
Yeah.
What can we blame these on? Bad governance or insecurity?
I think if you are low on budget ranking for 3 consecutive years, it signals to us that there is no governance or poor governance. I mean, look at Benue, Bayelsa, Zamfara,
Plateau.
Taraba.
Plateau was in the just about 20-something before.
Yeah, 28, and he's now slipped
now
33.
He's sitting in 33.
Yeah.
Yobe. And you look at it, one thing also that worries me, in the states with a low performance are within a particular region of the country.
Yeah, and it also speaks to the quality of leadership over a period of time. Because for you to be more creative in terms of generating productivity within your state, building some efficiency around collection, and being able to, present your report as it should be, it's something that it's like an hallmark of quality leadership. I think, when you look at state like Zamfara, insecurity, poverty have crept in significantly, and the quality of leadership in the last 8 years. Some people will tell you
that Kaduna has faced, a very terrible situation in terms of insecurity too. But in terms of fiscal and economic performance, they've done better. And there are those who will tell you that in terms of natural resources, Zamfara may compete higher in terms of what it has on the ground than a state like Kaduna.
Yeah.
So why is it so rich yet so poor?
It's a quality of leadership. And I think Kaduna had significant security challenges, but when you look at the statecraft for 8 years, you look at IGR growth, you look at how they've managed operational growth, they've done some things I think would have repercussion down the line. For example, they've grown their foreign debt significantly. But when you also put it aside by the number of foreign investment or domestic investment that they have harnessed within their region, it's also very significant. It's a bittersweet situation in Kaduna in the last few years.
Jigawa, they've gone really low in terms of IGR generation, from about 42.01 to 19.91. I'm in fact even worried about Zamfara. If Jigawa was coming from 42.01 to 19.91, Zamfara went from 12.96 to 6.51. They went down double digit.
Yeah.
And, you see Ondo State, for example, which is the the best performing state in terms of IGL growth, had gone from 78.17 to 119.83, 53% growth. And the likes of Zamfara, for example, has minus 52%. I mean, Jigawa has minus 52%, Zamfara has minus 49.75%.
It's, I mean, someone like Ogun, I even feel they should do much more than what they are doing. I mean, that's likely Nigeria's industrial state. Oh. Yeah, I mean, and the entire axis around Lagos is all wired with industry. So there's a lot of efficiency and a lot of opportunity. And also you have to reference that with the quality of infrastructure in the state and development, which is some limitation about our report. I mean, we're looking at fiscal health of a state. As we go along the way, we also want to look at the quality of spend and the quality of life directly. Because it's still like Ogun, much more is needed. I'm happy recent move to industrialize Agbara estate and build some captive power around it. Those are the things that I expect the state government to do to see moving forward.
We're focusing on subnational, and there are those who will be worried about the national level also, because now a lot of people need to now put the spotlight, and the media also will try to put their fingers in some of the details of this data to look at those who are doing their jobs and those who are not giving to the people what they promised that they will give to them. For example, there are those who have raised a question mark about the cost of governance in the face of dwindling revenue. The fact that the federal government has said that it will borrow about $1.5 billion from the World Bank for budget support, and although they say that is 0% interest rate, but the question is the cost of governance versus what we can afford and what we are servicing as debt. Can you make sense of that for us, Joe?
I mean, it's Nigerian leaders have not, had some level of thinking around, they don't understand that we are facing a fiscal crisis. And they keep living as if, we have all the money in the world. For example, you look at, the 160 million, SUVs that will be bought. I mean, why do we have to buy top-range SUVs for lawmakers? What happened to, cheaper alternatives, like either those are assembled in Nigeria, or even far cheaper alternatives like the Chinese, that the Chinese are importing. Nigerian politicians live a life of luxury that even the Nigerian state cannot
And everyone
afford.
is crying that we need to produce locally so that we can jolt the economy. So if we have those who couple and produce vehicles right on the ground, does it show seriousness in those who govern us at all?
We are not serious. And the thing is that it's a political culture problem. And as long as the person at the top, and if you look at this old conversation started from when the current president got into office, and he made a statement to make some budget reordering, and he allocated some funds to the National Assembly. In that process, billions of naira. I mean, you have to set something level of conservatism. We have to apply fiscal conservatism at this point. And that's the only thing that can engender trust. Nigerians are facing the highest levels of hardship in the last 2 decades. We do not have exchange rate, devaluation has happened significantly. We have food inflation. We have even the core inflation. All of that is at beyond reasonable levels. And in that situation, where you expect some level of empathy and some level of trust building, you have Nigerian lawmakers, executives, and the associates still living like lords of manor. It doesn't just add up for me.
Do you see capacity in this Tinubu government to be able to handle the economy and fix it?
I think it's so early to judge. He's made his choices around, picking certain people. But at the end of the day, people are watching, and it will take a while for them to trust your decision making. What does the economy actually need? The economy, in my own view, needs 2 things. It needs productivity, it needs efficiency. You get those 2 things right in terms of technocrats and leaders who are ready to serve. I'm not talking about leaders who live in aggrandizement. No, people who want to serve, because it has to cost us something to change Nigeria. So we will have to be a productive economy. We're selling for domestic consumption, we're selling for export, and we also have to be efficient and thoroughly. I mean, that's the only thing that can push us forward.
This is how I'd like us to close this program, because today is a day that you released the State of the States report. And there was a time that we had the first tranche, the second tranche, and the third tranche, where states are being helped by the federal government. And there were states that were insolvent at the time. And I mean, I imagine that what I'm seeing in this report, a lot of the states that are reading red, almost half of the state in terms of IGR performed very, very poorly, dwindle IGR growth. Now, which of these states do you fear the most that might be in troubled waters? And if they're not careful, they might go in the way of what happened during the Buhari era, where they are being supported for the first, second, and third tranche.
If you read the report, you find that we said 16 out of 36 states have a 70% dependence on federal allocations. If you're going to even first dimension, that's where you start from. Let's assume that oil prices dip significantly today, and let's assume that the economy faces a tailspin, and these are the people that are going to be in the firing line. And it's clear to what we have written in our report.
Which of these states?
The Zamfaras, the Bayelsa,
they are very much in trouble.
They would be in the first line of fire because their dependence on the federal allocation is too high. They also have to start looking inward, and if it means that we have a whole reworking of the entire federal architecture to give them more opportunities to do things, we go for it.
And those who are from those states, and these states that are performing, and those ones that are not performing, you know what you do as a citizen, because the office of the citizen is the highest office of the land, in the land. Thanks so much, Shawani Binde, for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. And well done to you and your team for this work. We will start digging into it and see that our nation is better, and every level of government and governance in this country, and anybody that has been saddled with the responsibility need to sit up and make sure that our country gets its life back. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Okimale. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. God bless Nigeria.
Get in on the action with Betano, your exciting destination for thrilling sports betting. Enjoy an award-winning experience with amazing betting options, cash out, and missions, as well as other features. Join now and get a welcome bonus of up to 100,000 Naira. Betano.ng. The game starts now.
The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, welcomes broadcasters, content creators, tech experts, exhibitors, and investors from Nigeria and all over to the 13th edition of Africast. Africast is the destination event where local and global industry players experience the latest innovative technologies, services, products, and markets. Participants will experience 3 days of world-class exposition showcasing the very best in creativity, innovation, and technological advancement in the broadcast industry. Theme: broadcast content, synergy, finance, and market. Date: Tuesday, 24th to Thursday, 26th October 2023. Venue: Marriott Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. Time: 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Chief Host: Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Idris. Host: Balarabe Shehu Ilela, Director General. Announcer: Management. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Early childhood development entails quality nurturing, adequate nutrition, good healthcare and protection. These are vital for kids' physical, cognitive, linguistic, and overall development. Our vitamins are organic, made from natural sources, melty with no sugar, and made for each kid's specific needs. No doubt,